In the silence, she poured out her heart. A story of a woman who trusted in God's goodness, even when her circumstances seemed impossible. Hannah's heart was heavy with sorrow, her womb closed and her hope dwindling. She felt like she was walking through a dark valley, with no end in sight. The pain of barrenness had taken its toll, and the whispers of doubt had begun to creep in. She wondered if she would ever know the joy of motherhood, or if she would be forever trapped in a cycle of longing and disappointment. But amidst the darkness, Hannah found solace in prayer. She poured out her heart to God, sharing her deepest fears, her greatest desires, and her most profound doubts. She came to him with raw emotion, with tears streaming down her face and with a desperation that only comes from knowing that God is the only one who can bring hope to a hopeless situation. But Hannah refused to give up. She clung to God's promises, even when she couldn't see a way forward. She trusted in His goodness and sovereignty, knowing that He was working all things together for her good. In the stillness of the night, she whispered her prayers, and in the quiet moments, she listened for His voice. She knew that God was her only hope, and she held on to Him tightly. As Hannah waited, she learned to trust in God's plan, even when she didn't understand. She knew that God's timing was perfect, and that He had a plan to give her hope and a future. The waiting was not easy, but it was in those moments of surrender that she found strength. She learned to let go of her own expectations and to trust in God's goodness, even when the road ahead seemed uncertain. And then, God answered Hannah's prayer. She held her precious son in her arms, and her heart overflowed with joy and gratitude. She knew that God's goodness and love had brought her to this moment. The journey had been long and arduous, but the joy of motherhood was her reward. She looked at her son and saw the manifestation of God's faithfulness, His love, and His goodness. Hannah's story reminds us that God is faithful and His timing is perfect. Even in the darkest moments, He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating a plan of hope and redemption.